All right, we are back on the record in case number 253768. While off the record, the court had a sidebar with counsel, showed the defendant, defense attorney, the pretrial release order that had the bond conditions on it that contained his signature. Defendant is claiming that is not his signature, so that brings us to the court requesting a contested hearing. So I'll turn it over to the prosecution team, your first witness.
We'll call Alex Matsky.
You swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You may have a seat.
State your name for the record.
Alex Matsky,
And what's your occupation?
Community Corrections Officer.
And do you work here in Wexford County?
Yes.
Is Brian Adcox under your supervision?
He is.
And was he arraigned on August 22nd?
Yes.
And after that arraignment, does he get a pretrial release order?
He does from the jail.
Right. And do you know what that information contains?
Just before you move on, just for the record, it was an in-person arraignment, not from the jail.
I'm not sure how that works then for the in-person arraignments.
Do you, do you go over this pretrial release order with Mr. Adcox?
Personally,
Okay. Just give me one moment.
Sure.
After he was arraigned, did he come down to the community corrections?
he did not.
And has he came down to community corrections to sign up for testing since then?
He came to our window and enrolled in testing on September 8th.
Okay. And when was he supposed to come and enroll in testing?
August 22nd or 23rd, depending on what time he was arraigned.
I have no further questions. Thank you.
Ms. O'Mara?
Would the defendant have any way of knowing to report to community corrections if he had not been given his pretrial paperwork?
At arraignment, I believe judge verbally tells him what his bond conditions will be.
But does he, if he didn't get that paperwork, would he know to come talk to you?
By verbal order, typically that's what happens.
Has he reported to you since then?
He came on September 8th.
And did he test on that day?
He did not.
Has he tested at all?
He tested this morning.
Did he test positive for anything?
He was negative for everything.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Lawrence?
No further questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Matsky, I have a question. You said he didn't test on the 8th. Was one offered to him?
It was not. We
Just signed him up.
correct.
All right, fair enough. Does that raise any additional questions?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
May this witness be excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may step down. Your next witness?
We'll call Charlie Haskins.
Ms. Haskins? Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You may have a seat. Before we get started, I want to do a little voir dire myself. You are a clerk in my office, is that correct?
Correct.
And the fact that you are testifying in this case and the fact that I'm your boss, so to speak, does that have any impact on your testimony today? All right. Ms. Lawrence?
Thank you, Your Honor. Did you speak with Mr. Adcox on August 22nd?
Yes, ma'am.
And this was after his arraignment? And tell me about that interaction.
He was given his court paperwork and we go over that pretrial release order.
Ms. Haskins, I need you to speak up.
We go over the pretrial release order along with the next date. And then I typically follow up with where community corrections is located. I did not get to that point. I failed to direct him to community corrections after that fact. I did know that in an email after. I tried to call him to let him know. He answered, and I let him know that he would have to go test or sign up for test date. And I put him on a brief hold because he wanted to go the following day, which would have been, I believe, a weekend. So I said he could not. I was going to go ask. A couple moments later, I went to go take him off hold. He was not there. Tried calling back several times with no answer or busy to where I couldn't get through.
That pretrial release order contains his bond conditions. Correct.
Which was come over.
And you went over that with him? And did he sign that pretrial release order?
I believe so.
Okay. And you had sent an email, correct, if you recognize this?
Yes.
This is the email you're referring to? And when you called Mr. Adcox the first time, he did answer the phone, correct? And you had told him he had to come back to sign up for testing? And to your knowledge, he hung up on you?
What I told him I was going to put him on a brief hold, and then yes, there was no answer.
And you did not hear from him after that?
No.
Do you remember what date that was, that phone call?
That would have been the date of his arraignment, August 26th.
Okay. No further questions, thank you.
Ms. O'Meara?
Your Honor, may I use your pretrial release order as an exhibit?
I'll take judicial notice of it.
Do you recognize this document? Did you go over this document with Mr. Adcox?
Yes.
If I showed you a signature, would you be able to describe it? Can you describe what that signature looks like?
That would be our judge or his signature.
Ms. Haskins, I need you to speak right up.
Sorry.
Your Honor, may I ask my client a question?
Sure.
Yes. Maybe. This is my signature right there.
Could you describe the signature for me?
Considering I don't see a signature on it, I witnessed him sign this.
You witnessed him sign this paper?
I don't see that.
Just for the record, would you do your best to describe what the signature physically looks like?
Objection, Your Honor. How is this relevant?
The question is if it's his signature. I feel like how the signatures look is a rather relevant point.
Ms. Lawrence?
She said she has never seen the signature prior to this, but that she did witness him sign it. I'm not sure how her explaining what the signature looks like is relevant.
you plan on introducing another piece of evidence with the signature on it,
Yes,
or purported signature? So I believe the documents will speak for themselves, so
so you don't.
I don't need her to describe the signature for me.
um, When you, in the conversation you did have with Mr. Adcox, did you convey the information of the date that he should start testing?
I'll give him that, all the check marks applied, and then he needs to he needs to sign up for that.
But you
And
never,
I also called him.
okay. But it was the weekend that community corrections wouldn't have been open.
So I guess I can remember.
The court will take judicial notice that August 22nd was a Friday.
No further questions.
Lawrence? Ms. Haskin, I have just a couple of questions for you, maybe just one. The phone number that you used to call Mr. Addicks back, where would you have gotten that phone number?
I would have received that from his file and his
The AS400 is what?
our computer system that has all the defendant's information,
And how does that information get inputted into the system?
I believe during arraignment.
All right, thank you. Does that raise any additional questions?
No, Your Honor.
Any additional questions?
No, Your Honor.
May this witness be excused,
Yes, Your Honor.
temporary or permanent? Thank you. You're free to go about your day. Any additional proofs, Ms. Lawrence?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. O'Meara?
Yes, I'd like to introduce the pretrial offer sheet submitted to the court as an exhibit,
Do you have,
because it has his signature
do
on
you have
it.
any foundation to lay that?
Could I void dear my client specifically on whether or not this document is accurate?
We can swear him in and you can take some testimony regarding his signature. Yes.
Your Honor, I call Mr. Adcox to stand.
Mr. Adcox, you can stay right there. That's fine. Will you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, go ahead, Mr. O'Meara. I'm sorry, Ms. O'Meara.
Mr. Adcox, do you recognize this document?
Yes, it's the one I signed on. Alex,
Or
I think, isn't it? Oh. Yeah, I signed it today with you.
and would you say that this is your signature?
Yes, that is my signature.
Does the court believe I've laid a foundation for the introduction of this document?
Ms. Lawrence. Any objection to the court considering the document?
Yes. Could you explain a little more what the document is and when it was signed?
Pretrial offers sheet signed by myself, the defendant, and Ms. Lawrence. It was submitted to the court today. Simply states that the decision in the pretrial is deferred.
Did you witness him sign that?
Yes.
The court will receive it.
I would ask, or I'd ask that the court review the signatures on those two. But other than that, I have no further proofs.
Ms. Lawrence. We won't mark it as an exhibit. That's fine. Well, yeah, no, we're good. We're good. I won't mark it as an exhibit.
Can I take it back or do you?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if Ms. Lawrence has any questions regarding the document.
Could we see the order?
You may. Here is the order. parties approach, please?
Mr. Adcox, you looked at the pretrial release order, correct?
Did what?
Your attorney showed you this pretrial release order.
This is what the front looks like.
Um.
You're claiming that that is not your signature.
I mean, that's not this is my signature right here.
So are you saying that you did not sign this in front of Ms. Haskins?
I mean, that's not what. I don't remember. Did I say, I mean, when I left on the 22nd, is Miss Haskins the lady who was right there?
Yes.
I signed something when I left, but I wasn't given the paperwork. When she called me back, she did call me.
Okay,
back.
sir, only
Okay.
answer the question that was asked.
I have no further questions.
Right, fair enough. Ms. O'Meara, any additional questions?
I have no further questions. And no further proofs.
No further proofs? Ms. Lawrence, any additional proofs in rebuttal?
Well, Your Honor, we're wondering if we should call Ms. Haskins back to find out how many documents he signed.
That's entirely up to you.
Your Honor, I believe it was a permanent excuse.
She's here in the building.
I will allow her to be recalled. Ms. Haskins, you can have a seat, and I'll just remind you, you are still under oath. Ms. Lawrence?
Thank you, Your Honor. Just a couple questions. Does Mr. Adcox sign anything else other than this after his arraignment?
If he filled out a public defender form, I believe so.
Okay. And that would be what is also attached on the back of this, correct? So those two things are what he signs after his arraignment. And you watched him sign this paperwork?
PDO form, typically not because they take a minute to sign it, but the actual pretrial release will read.
Okay. Nothing further. Thank you.
Ms. Lawrence, can you just, I know you showed Ms. Haskin a document, but can you explain what that document was you showed her?
Yes, I apologize. This is a copy of the pretrial release order that the court and the defense both have, and it has the request for an appointment of attorney, a copy of that as well on the back.
Thank you. Ms. O'Meara, any additional, or do you have any questions for Ms. Haskin?
No, Your Honor.
All right, you may step down. Thank you. Any additional proofs, Ms. Lawrence?
No, Your Honor.
Argument?
Thank you, Your Honor. I think it is clear from Ms. Haskins' testimony that she did go over the pretrial release agreement with the defendant. She did watch him sign it. After looking at the pretrial statement as well as some other documents, it does look like the defendant's signature changes frequently. But I do believe her testimony that she was there. She went over it with him. She watched him sign it. We heard from Ms. Matzke that he was supposed to sign up for testing either the day of his arraignment or sometimes the day after, depending on the time. And he did not come sign up for testing until September 8th. Ms. Haskin testified that she called him. The defendant did answer the phone. She told him he had to come back for testing. He asked if he could come back the next day when she put him on hold. He hung up the phone. Ms. Haskins also testified she tried to call him several more times and he did not answer. I think it is clear that the defendant knew he was supposed to sign up for testing and he did not. I would ask the court to find him guilty.
Ms. O'Meara?
Your Honor, we're arguing over the signatures and the one thing I do think is clear is that the signature that Mr. Adcox provided today, which I witnessed, is not the same signature that appears on the pretrial release order. Mr. Adcox has reported to probation at this point, and he did so as soon as I communicated to him that he needed to be. And while I respect the argument that he should have known, I believe it's clear he did not know and that he did not understand, and that as soon as he did understand, he reported for testing. So I'd say that that's evidence that he did not understand or know that he needed to report for testing. Thank you, Your Honor.
Any rebuttal? Well, this was a pretty lengthy, drawn-out process for a bond violation regarding somebody needing to test. But one of the reasons the court called everybody up to the bench to go over the various signatures that it had in its file is because the various signatures that the court has in its file, in particular, the community corrections drug testing order today and the request for an appointment of an attorney. Well, I have to admit, each signature appears to be different. The signatures contained in the court's file all seem to have one striking characteristic the same, and that is a line that goes down through a loop. Sometimes it's a vertical line, sometimes it's a reverse 45, but that is one consistent signature. And then when I look at the pretrial order or the pretrial statement today, while that signature is vastly different from what is contained in the file, it does have the line that goes down from a top loop down to a bottom loop, which the court believes would be the beginning of a B. I also have the testimony from Ms. Haskins today, and I will state that I give that testimony no further weight than I do anybody else testifying before this court because she's employed by me. But she testified that she had specific recollection of contacting Mr. Adcox because she forgot to inform him that he needed to go down to community corrections to test. He then questioned whether he had to come in that day or another day because she recalled it being on a weekend. And the court confirmed that the 22nd of August was a Friday, which would lend credibility to her statements. The court also specifically remembers this arraignment because Mr. Adcox, as the court was going through his record in setting bond, argued with the court that his prior 5 OWIs were not relevant to setting bond in a drunken disorderly or public intoxication case. So perhaps the reason he didn't realize he had to go down was because of his frustration. But in any event, I do remember ordering the random testing. I know that I always advise defendants that they are to, in this situation, sign up for testing. Ms. Haskins indicated that she had given him orders to do so. When she returned to the phone, he was gone and he did not answer any of her return calls. Accordingly, I find the defendant was in violation or is in violation of his bond for fail to enroll in alcohol testing between the dates of August 22nd and September 8th. That brings us to what we do with bond moving forward. Ms. Lawrence.
Thank you, Your Honor. I do understand that Mr. Adcox has now signed up for testing as of September 8th. Although I do have some concerns that he went almost 3 weeks without testing, I would just encourage Mr. Adcox to not let this happen again. Keep in contact with community corrections, and we would ask for bond to continue.
Ms. O'Meara.
I would agree that Mr. Adcox knows now that he needs to test regardless of whether or not he should have known. He did attempt to plead guilty to not showing up to test. and I somewhat apologize for the drawn out nature of this. I would ask the probate or bond to be continued. Thank you.
All right, the court will continue bond as previously set. The defendant did test negative today. He did eventually sign up. But Mr. Adcox, make sure that you are following through with your bond requirements and that you're checking in daily with community corrections to see whether your number is called.
Sure.
All right.
I apologize for all this.
Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you.